Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we journey deep into the fascinating world of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 2 pence from the year 2005, a year that produced millions of circulated coins, yet only a select few have become legendary among collectors. This episode will take you through an immersive exploration of the coin's history, design, minting quirks, collector demand, and the surprising factors that contribute to its incredible multi-million-dollar valuation today. The story of the 2005 2-pence coin begins far earlier than the coin itself. To truly understand its significance, we must travel back to 1971, the year the United Kingdom officially decimalized its currency. This transition marked the beginning of new denominations, new designs, and an entirely new interaction between the public and their everyday money. Among these denominations was the humble 2-pence coin, introduced with a bronze composition and a design that would soon become iconic. With Britannia featured on the reverse for decades, the 2-pence coin earned a familiar presence in pockets, coin purses, and cash registers across the country. Fast forward to 2005. A year that, on the surface, appeared to be just another chapter in the ongoing production of coins bearing the image of Queen Elizabeth II. But beyond the surface lies a unique blend of circumstances that turned the 2005 2-pence into an intriguing subject for collectors. In this particular year, the Royal Mint continued to use the portrait of Her Majesty created by Ian Rank Broadley, a fourth-generation official effigy that had become deeply symbolic of the stability and continuity of the British monarchy. The portrait itself was clean, dignified, and instantly recognizable, representing the Queen's unwavering presence over decades of social and economic change. The obverse of the coin features this familiar portrait, with subtle details that collectors often obsess over. Every curve of the Queen's profile, every strand of hair, and each engraved element of the tiara contributes to the aesthetic appeal of the coin. But more than that, slight variations or subtle misalignments, often invisible to the casual observer, can turn a common 2-pence into a rare collectible. That is where the 2005 issue becomes especially interesting. Despite being mass-produced, the coins of this year are known among experts for occasional minting irregularities, including die rotations, faint doubling, and rim thickness inconsistencies. These errors are unintentional, but in numismatics, unintentional often means ultra-valuable. Turning to the reverse, the coin retains the classic pre-2008 design featuring the badge of the Prince of Wales. This includes a plume of ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, along with the motto Ich Dien, I serve. This design, used since decimalization, evokes centuries of heraldic tradition and carries with it a royal significance that adds historical weight to the coin. The 2-pence denomination is clearly inscribed, and while many coins look alike, trained collectors know that slight changes in the spacing, thickness, or strike intensity of these inscriptions can make all the difference in determining rarity and value. The metal composition of the 2005 2-pence coin adds even another layer of intrigue. Prior to 1992, 2-pence coins were struck in bronze, but from 1992 onward, including in 2005, the coins were struck in copper-plated steel. This change introduced entirely new challenges for the mint and new opportunities for collectors. Copper-plated steel coins tend to show wear differently, sometimes revealing the steel core beneath the copper surface. Variations in the plating thickness, unintended exposure of the steel core, or errors where the plating failed to adhere properly are all reasons why certain 2005 specimens stand out dramatically from the rest. One of the topics frequently discussed among serious collectors is the small group of coins from 2005 that were unintentionally struck using the wrong planchets. Wrong planchet errors occur when a blank metal disc intended for a different coin denomination is accidentally fed into the press. For example, extremely rare instances exist where a 2-pence design was struck onto blank 1-penny planchets, creating a coin that is lighter, thinner, and instantly identifiable to a trained eye. Coins like this do not appear often, and when they do, they become the centerpiece of competitive bidding wars in auction houses. This brings us to the heart of the numismatic journey: demand from collectors. The value of any coin is ultimately shaped by how badly collectors want it, and collectors want the 2005 2p for several reasons. First, it sits within the final years before the historic design change in 2008, when the Royal Mint introduced the shield fragment designs across all circulating denominations. This means the 2005 issue is part of the final stretch of coins bearing the traditional motifs that had lasted for decades. For many collectors, finishing a full collection of these classic coins represents a meaningful tribute to the earlier era of British decimal coinage. Second, the 2005 2p has earned a reputation for surprising collectors with unexpected errors. Some errors are only visible under magnification, while others are so dramatic that you can spot them instantly. Whether it's a misaligned die, a double strike, a weak strike, or an example struck slightly off-center, any of these anomalies transforms an otherwise ordinary 2p into a desirable rarity. In the eyes of collectors, rarity is king, and era coins offer rarity in its purest form. Third, coins from the early 2000s have become more interesting to collectors over time due to their transitional status. The world of currency was experiencing rapid technological and political shifts. This was the era just before contactless payments, digital wallets, and mass coin reductions. Many collectors now realize that coins from this decade represent the last breath of traditional coin circulation culture, adding emotional and historical value to coins once considered mundane. Top 2. We peel back those layers one by one to reveal why this humble 2p coin has taken the world of rare currency by storm. To truly appreciate the 2007 2p coin, one must go back several decades to understand its origins. The 2p denomination, introduced during the monumental decimalization of British currency in 1971, was designed to usher in a new era of simplicity and modernity. Decimalization replaced complex systems of shillings and pence with a clear base 10 system that aligned Britain more closely with global standards. During this period, the Royal Mint needed denominations that offered both functional usefulness in everyday life and an aesthetic representation of Britain's centuries-old heritage. Thus, the 2p coin was born, carrying with it a sense of national identity while serving a practical purpose in the pockets of millions. By 2007, the 2p coin had already undergone several changes in materials, designs, and minting processes. From the early bronze compositions to the later copper-plated steel versions, each shift carried economic implications. Rising metal prices, especially the increasing cost of copper in the early 2000s, pushed the Royal Mint to adopt more cost-efficient materials. And so, by the time the 2007 2p coin entered circulation, the coin was no longer solid bronze as in the earlier decades, but instead crafted from steel with a thin copper coating. Although the composition changed, the traditional symbolism of the coin remained deeply rooted in British history and heraldry. The 2007 2p features the iconic and time-honored reverse design introduced in 1971. On it is the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers rising through a coronet, accompanied by the famous motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This emblem was first adopted by Edward, the Black Prince, in the 14th century and has remained closely tied to the Prince of Wales title ever since. Its inclusion on the 2p coin represents loyalty, service, and continuity, core values deeply embedded in the British monarchy. The design itself is crisp, balanced, and immediately recognizable even to those with only a casual familiarity with British coinage. It stands as a reminder of Britain's medieval past while circulating through the modern world. On the obverse side of the coin, we find one of the most widely recognized portraits in the history of modern coinage, the 4th official portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Ian Rank Broadley. Introduced in 1998, this portrait is distinct for its realism, its gravity, and its refusal to overly idealize the monarch. Unlike earlier depictions that softened the Queen's features, Rank Broadley chose authenticity and detail, portraying the Queen as she truly appeared late in the 20th century. This frankness resonated deeply with collectors and everyday users alike, marking an aesthetic shift toward artistic honesty. By 2007, this portrait was well established, and millions of coins bearing it circulated throughout the United Kingdom. Yet the 2007 2p still stands out, not because of its quantity, but because of what would happen over time that transformed it from a common coin to a treasure worth millions. Numismatics, at its heart, is not merely about metal or minting but about stories. Stories of where a coin has been, what it represents, how it came to be, and what it means to the people who hold it. The 2007 2-pence coin, though mass-produced like others of its kind, has captured global attention for reasons that stretch far beyond mint statistics. Part of what makes it extraordinary is its place in a transitional period. Only a year after its release, the Royal Mint initiated one of the most dramatic redesigns in British coinage history. The 2008 redesign introduced the now iconic Royal Shield series, where each denomination contributed a portion of a segmented shield that could be assembled like a puzzle. This meant that coins minted before 2008, such as the 2007 2-pence, represent the final era of the classic heraldic designs that had existed for nearly 4 decades. Collectors are deeply drawn to final editions, last runs, and transitional pieces. This psychological allure creates increased demand, even for coins that were originally produced in large numbers. But demand alone is not enough to propel a coin's value into the realm of millions. Something more must be at play, something that pushes a coin beyond its material value and elevates it to a legendary status within the collector community. And for the 2007 2-pence, that factor is tied to rarity, era potentials, mint condition, and global demand. One key element that makes the 2007 2-pence so desirable is the possibility of striking variations. During minting, thousands of coins are produced every minute, and while modern minting technology is highly consistent, the occasional mistake does happen. Errors such as misstrikes, off-center stamping, double dies, or incorrect metal planchets can dramatically increase the value of any coin. For the 2007 2-pence, a series of subtle variations has been documented by collectors over the years. Some coins exhibit unusual toning patterns, possibly due to chemical reactions between the steel core and the copper plating. Others reveal minor die rotation variations or alignment misprints. While these may seem trivial to the casual eye, they represent numismatic gold for collectors seeking scarcity and uniqueness. Another factor lies in the condition of the coin. With coins that circulate widely, pristine condition becomes exceedingly rare. A perfect, untouched, uncirculated 2007 2-pence, particularly one graded extremely high by professional grading agencies, has become a highly desirable artifact. Coins preserved in mint condition, stored carefully from the moment of minting, and never exposed to wear, scratches, or discoloration are considered extremely precious. In the increasingly competitive world of rare coin investment, high-grade coins from transitional years like 2007 become hotspots for investor demand. Global trends in collecting have also played a role in elevating the profile of this coin. As digital marketplaces expand and international collectors gain easier access to coins from around the world, competition intensifies. British coins, especially those featuring Queen Elizabeth II, hold a special place for collectors worldwide due to the Queen's global fame, historic reign, and iconic presence. The 2007 2-pence represents a piece of this royal legacy, making it desirable far beyond the borders of the United Kingdom. Collectors from the United States, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East are actively seeking out high-grade examples of this coin, driving up demand in unexpected ways. What truly makes the story of this coin even more captivating is the way it intersects with personal narratives. Every rare coin has a history, and the 2007 2-pence is no different. Some have been found tucked away in old drawers, some discovered in childhood piggy banks, some retrieved from dusty jars and forgotten cupboards. Top 3. Today, we dive deep into one of the most captivating and surprisingly mysterious coins in modern British numismatics, the 1998 2-pence featuring the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. Though millions of coins circulate freely, a select few rise above the rest, and this one has captured the imagination of collectors around the world. To discover how a coin valued at just 2 pennies rose to an astonishing value of $24 million, stay with me until the end as we explore every detail, every secret, and every stroke of its design that makes it one of the most sought-after collectible gems in the numismatic universe. The journey of the 1998 2-pence coin begins with understanding the importance of Queen Elizabeth II's image on British currency. Since her coronation in 1953, her portrait has symbolized continuity, stability, and tradition. By 1998, she had already appeared on coins for over 4 decades, and each new portrait reflected both artistic evolution and historical shifts. The 1998 2-pence carries the third portrait of the Queen, designed by Raphael Maklauf, which frames her with grace, maturity, and a sense of dignified calm. This portrait alone contributes to the coin's historical value, as it represents a period of consolidation in the monarchy, technological growth in the United Kingdom, and a renewed appreciation for classic numismatic design. The obverse side, bearing the Queen's portrait, is not only a significant artistic representation but also a technical achievement. The fine detailing in the hair, the clarity of the facial expression, and the carefully balanced spacing of the surrounding inscriptions tell a story of precise craftsmanship. Many collectors appreciate these subtle design features, recognizing how such technical excellence is far from guaranteed in mass-produced coinage. The coin reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, a Latin inscription meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. These timeless words have appeared on her coinage for decades, echoing centuries of royal tradition and the profound heritage of British constitutional monarchy. Turning to the reverse side, the iconic badge of the Prince of Wales takes center stage. Featuring a plume of ostrich feathers bound by a coronet, accompanied by a ribbon carrying the motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. The design ties the coin directly to one of the oldest and most respected symbols in British heraldry. This emblem reflects the historical connection between the monarchy and the Welsh Principality, a relationship steeped in medieval roots and maintained through ceremonial and cultural significance. The reverse design is bold yet elegant, simple yet historically rich. The numerals, 2, and the word, pence, appear cleanly and prominently, reinforcing the denomination while enhancing the overall balance of the coin. One cannot speak of the 1998 2-pence without exploring the historical environment of the United Kingdom during this period. The late 1990s marked a time of economic optimism, technological innovation, and political change. The nation was moving into a digital future, with the internet beginning to shift everyday life, yet traditional symbols like coinage remained vital anchors of national identity. The Royal Mint was undergoing modernization, improving minting technology and refining coin quality, all of which contributed to the high-grade craftsmanship seen in coins from the late 1990s. At the same time, numismatic interest was gradually rising, with collectors beginning to pay more attention to modern coins that had once been dismissed as too common to ever become valuable. Minting details for the 1998 2-pence paint an interesting picture. While millions were produced for general circulation, not all coins are created equal. Variations exist due to differences in batches, production errors, metal composition inconsistencies, and minor imperfections that can turn an ordinary coin into a rarity. The 1998 issue was struck in copper-plated steel, continuing the shift from bronze that began in 1992. This material change created unexpected challenges in preservation, making high-grade specimens more difficult to find in flawless condition. Many coins from this period quickly accumulated scratches, rust spots, or discoloration, issues that drastically reduced collectible value. As a result, pristine examples from 1998 stand out sharply against the majority that show heavy circulation wear. Collectors often pay close attention to minting anomalies, especially in the 2-pence series. While the famous British New Pence era occurred earlier, a few lesser-known misstrikes from the late 1990s have gained attention in recent years. Certain 1998 coins demonstrate slight alignment issues, planchet marks, or faint double striking, small deviations barely noticeable to casual observers but highly appealing to serious collectors. It's these tiny variations, combined with exceptionally high condition, that can make an otherwise common coin something extraordinary. Over time, these features help shape a narrative that fuels collector demand, Another important aspect in the rising appeal of the 1998 2 pence is the emotional connection people have with Queen Elizabeth II's coinage. After her passing in 2022, interest in coins bearing her portrait surged dramatically as collectors sought to preserve pieces of her remarkable 70-year reign. The 1998 issue, sitting comfortably in the middle of her reign, represents a period of national stability and cultural development. As a result, its desirability, especially in top condition, has grown year after year. Many collectors look for coins minted during significant eras, and the late 1990s embody a blend of nostalgia and modernity that resonates with collectors across generations. Beyond historical and collector interest, the coin's design elements contribute significantly to its charm. The lettering is crisp and well-defined, the beading along the rim is consistent, and the overall finish of the coin reflects polishing techniques that became highly refined by the late 20th century. These features elevate the 1998 2 pence above earlier issues and highlight its place in the Royal Mint's history of improving coin quality. All these details gain further significance when a rare specimen surfaces in mint-state condition, untouched, uncirculated, and breathtakingly preserved. As we explore the journey of this coin, it's crucial to recognize how rarity is often shaped not by low mintage numbers but by the survival rate of high-quality examples. For the 1998 issue, millions were struck, but far fewer survive today in pristine states. Most have seen decades of circulation, passing from hand to hand, enduring scratches, moisture, and dirt. Coins that escape this fate, kept in collections from day one, accidentally stored away, or deliberately preserved, are exceedingly scarce. Thank you for joining Ultra Rare Coins history on this fascinating journey through time, craftsmanship, and extraordinary value. If you enjoyed discovering the secrets behind this remarkable coin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible stories hiding in the world of rare coins.